What's up guys, welcome back. Today's video we're going to be trying to fix the low oil pressure problem on my Silverado, or at least make it a little bit better. So as of a couple months ago, the oil pressure in the truck has been dropping to the point where I don't like it. And then probably a month ago at a red light, I got the low oil pressure warning coming across the screen and it was at like 5. So I pulled over and shut it off. I was a little low on oil, filled it up, and I got like 10 PSI at idle and 25, 30 while driving. But then you come to a stop and it gets down to like 5 or 10 and it's telling me to shut off the engine. So I did the oil pressure sensor sending unit, whatever you want to call it, in the back behind the intake manifold. That sucked to do, but it didn't change anything. So our next move, before considering it catastrophic, because I did what most people do when something goes wrong, and I just started Googling what I could try, and it seemed like 10 YouTube videos popped up of 5.3s with between 200 and 250,000 miles, which mine has 230 on it. Yes, this is a 5.3, by the way. And they were all using a motor flush, and it was fixing the oil pressure problem. Yes, I'm skeptical. That doesn't seem like it's gonna work. I know it could be the clogged pickup tube. It can be worn bearings, because that is high miles. It could be the oil pump, I don't know. But why would I not try a $10 bottle of stuff before I pull the oil pan down and start looking in there? So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna run this, what is it here? Motor Medic motor flush through here, and then do an oil change on it. It sounds too easy to work, right? But if it can get it back at 40, it used to idle at 40 PSI and then it'd run at like 45, which it's a 5.3 and I'm a 5.3 fanboy. Like I always say this thing's never gonna die, right? Well, I hope it didn't, because it's freaking me out. So without further ado, because I keep rambling, I'm gonna dump this stuff in here. I'm gonna back this thing up a little bit first. I'll show you the oil pressure now. I haven't started this thing in like 3 weeks now. I actually have the jumper pack on it real quick. I'll show you what my oil pressure is right now. With a cold start, it's probably gonna tell me the low oil pressure warning now because it's been sitting. I'm gonna back it up at the door, let it warm up for a little bit, dump this in it, and then let it run for 5 minutes, and we'll show you. We'll see what happens. Let me start it up with you while recording so I can show you guys what this says. It's gonna be stupid loud. It's been sitting for weeks. I wish I could have another camera back there, but here we go. Wow, that was interesting. With the jumper pack hooked up. Oh, my battery's frozen again. Never mind, we're going back to the auto parts store. Put it on a charger and I wondered why it wouldn't charge, just because it's frozen. And just so you know, if you ever start your Silverado and none of the gauges work except for the RPM and all these lights light up and radio goes weird, it's because it's running off your jumper pack and it's barely running. So I'll get back with you guys in a second. I'm kind of mad now, so 1 second. Well guys, I don't know if I'll get to this tonight because now I gotta go yell at somebody and warranty a battery for the 3rd year in a row, but we're not gonna get into that because it doesn't matter. So I will pick back up the camera when we are actually going to change the oil in this thing, because I gotta be able to read my oil pressure gauge, and I can't with a bad battery. So I'll be back. Sorry guys. All right, let's try this again. All right, well, we almost have 40 PSI. All right, never mind, we have 20. The camera kind of made it look, camera kind of made it look like it had more. So we only have 20 now, and that's cold start, so let's see if we can get that back up a little bit. That's the most I've seen forever. So either way, let's see if this helps. Okay, this is more like it. I literally just backed it up to the door. It's been running for a minute. And it's just, that's 10. We're back at 10. It holds at 10, but I prefer a lot more than that. So let me put this stuff in here and we'll go from there. All right, I'm gonna dump it in. I'm actually terrified to put this in there. I've only run full synthetic in this thing. I'm the second owner. I know every oil change, every 3,000. This worries me, but let's try it. So it looks like transmission fluid. Maybe it is. I know that cleans stuff out, but it's like water, so that's really, really not cool. More terrified now. The whole quart is in there. Let's set a timer and see what the heck happens here. Hope for the best. All right, we got 2 more minutes and nothing's ticking or knocking yet, but it was like putting water in it. That's the opposite of everything I've been taught my whole life, so I'm having a hard time with this. This truck has always, since it was brought home from the dealership, had Valvoline full synthetic 530 in it, so we're putting that back in with an AC downgoing filter, and yeah, see what happens. All right, that was 5 minutes. So let me drain the oil out of this thing, throw some fresh stuff in it, and we'll fire it back up and see what happened. So the oil's not as red as I've seen it in some people's videos. Usually it's really, really dirty, which is, I'm gonna say good. Maybe it cleaned out all the carbon and just junk that was in there, but yeah, it's looking really sludgy actually. There's the viscosity going down. All right, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but I'm seeing some really, really, really sludgy stuff come out of this thing. I don't know what the white is, but that's kind of weird. It's just weird. It's had full synthetic its whole life. Always at 3,000. That's the worst oil I've ever seen come out of it. Maybe we have a bigger problem, I don't know. That's white, that's gross. It could just be from the temperature, being cold, I know that happens, but I don't know. Tried to save this to show you guys and take I took the filter down still as I could, because I've done every oil change on this truck for the past 6 years, and I've never seen oil this black. So I'm kind of, like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't think this is gonna do anything. I honestly do. I totally flipped my idea, or my thoughts on this, because that oil was nasty coming out of there, and it's usually still clear. And I was only at 2,700 miles. I wasn't even at 3,000 yet. I just wanted to do this because it was freaking me out. But I mean, just look at this looks like it hasn't been changed for 30,000. So also, when I was thinking of it, I know the oil pickup tubes clog up on these a lot in the pan. And a motor flush could, if that stuff works, could clean that out. But either way, let me show you this oil. That is, that is black. No metal. There's nothing, like, if it were the main bearings, I would think thered be metal in here. I don't know, but I definitely think we'd see some shiny stuff. I'm gonna let that drain out, but that is just pitch black. Weird, right? So I just topped it off with 6 fresh quarts of 5W30 full synthetic. No Lucas additive, no AMSOIL, no syrup to make it have more oil pressure, just straight oil, like what was in it. So actually there might have been Lucas. I might have added that the last oil change because it was messing, the pressure was getting lower, but that clearly did nothing. So let's see what we get. Sorry, I didn't record starting it, but I just fired up the truck. We're closer. Let's let it run for a minute like we did last time and see where it ends up. All right, the truck has been idling for probably 5 minutes now. We're holding consistent. I don't know why these LEDs are ruining the camera lens. well, I guess it's a little under 20 from this angle, but it's holding consistently right around 20 at idle. And then if I give it a little gas, I mean, it's not going much lower than 20. So it did something, I think. It's better. But, I mean, we can pretty much go ahead and say that didn't fix the problem because it's supposed to be at 40. Yes, it's an old, worn out engine. 230,000 right there. That might just be what I'm dealing with here. I mean, these motors can run on like 2 PSI of oil pressure, so I think we're gonna go to plan B and say just run it till something happens. If I hear a knock, maybe we'll pull the pin and investigate, but it's running so smooth, I don't think it's a issue. I mean, this says no lifter tick, no knock. I don't know, guys. I think it did something because that oil was disgusting. And I think I'm gonna do this on every oil change now, just to try to clean it out because I've never done it. So it's probably just the surface of how dirty it is in there and carbon built up. But for now, we'll go with plan B and just send it. Because it's still got good enough oil pressure for me to not pull the oil pan. That's all I can think of at this time. Well guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. We didn't get the results we wanted, but now I know that cheap fix doesn't work. It didn't work in my case. I'm sure it actually works with things, and it's probably good to do. And I'll try it on the next oil change too, just to keep cleaning out the motor, because after looking at that oil, I do think that worked. I don't think it worked in my application. So with that being said, that's gonna do it for this video. I know the oil pan gasket's leaking anyway, so I might as well pull the pan and look into that, but I don't know. I don't know. Any suggestions, comment below. For right now, she's good. That's all I can say. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you. Have a great day.